So thank you for taking the time to talk to me on Metal Anthology channel. Uh, I'm Stefan. It's a pleasure to meet you finally, Jonas Bryssling from Retromorphosis lately, but Spawn of Possession was a big thing. Still is.
Yeah, they say so.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. I'm amongst them.
what do you say?
Yeah. I'm amongst those people who think it's still a big thing, Spawn of
Okay.
Possession.
Yeah, thanks.
Really love those records, but we are here to we'll talk a little bit about Spawn eventually
Yeah,
later,
sure.
but today is a special day. It's the
Yeah,
release date of Salmus Mortis, the debut album of your new project, Retromorphosis. It was released on Season of Mist, I think.
yes, that's right.
Cool. So, how you feeling this thing being finally released to the world?
Yeah, it feels good because we recorded it in 2023. So
Yeah.
it has been a long time for it just laying on a shelf.
Yeah.
So, and finally it's out, and we get to see the reactions of it, because that's important too. If you're gonna continue on this project or not, was you know, you want to have some feedback on it.
Yeah, I think you will, because the reception and the reaction of the people will be great. I'm sure. Uh, Personally, I thought it was a contender album of the year. We are very early into this year, but this is greatness. Uh, Say thank you for reviving the spirit of the technical death metal. Uh,
Well,
I, yeah, I've listened to your new album at least 12 times, and uh, and there are some songs I have listened to a lot more than that because they are just uh, such bangers that you have to to listen to them more often. Um,
no.
Tell me a little bit. As you said, it was written quite a while, and you decided to start that project few years ago. You were
Mm.
all by yourself. I think it's during the pandemic that you started to like have this beginning of idea about launching a new band, writing material. Um, and soon enough, I think Dennis and Erlen were involved in the maybe not the songwriting, but in the process. Tell me
Yeah.
about the genesis of the band, please.
Yeah, it was. I got divorced, so I got a lot of time.
Yeah.
And because I only have the kids half time, like
Oh,
second week. So 7 days off, 7 days on, and that means I have a lot of time to write and so on. And the pandemic came. I have had already decided before that I was going to do a death metal album, but it was when the pandemic came and they closed down my workplace, and I got like 3 months maybe paid without working. So I was just writing. So I wrote most of the album on those months. So and when I had all the songs pre-prodded, I sent some to Dennis, and I asked him. I wasn't sure if he would be interested, because I know he wants to do Spawn. He loves Spawn. So,
okay.
and here I come with some new thing. So I was a little bit, maybe he won't do it. And I asked him, and he listened. And he said, sure, I can do the vocals. So at that time, he was supposed to do the bass as well.
Oh,
And I was going to do all the solos. So it would be like a trio, me, Dennis, and a drummer. And the plan was to.
Was it Casey Howard already at that period of time?
Yeah, he came in pretty close after Dennis,
Okay.
I think. A year later, maybe.
So you did knew the guy from his other project or as a personal friend already?
Yeah, Dennis met him on the Calidef podcast. So, and they started talking afterwards and became friends. So
Okay.
Dennis asked him, "Do you want to play drums in our new project?" And he sent the demo, and Casey was, "Hell yeah, I want to play." So, but at that time, I still I still wanted to do this underground thing. So I wanted to get it released on a small label with only us three playing with a small budget, maybe even record at home. You know, like really, yeah, tiny project. Just because I just wanted to do something, But that didn't work out because no labels, no underground labels could afford the studio budget.
Hmm.
So I had to look for bigger labels. And through Ragnar in Obsidian 1, I got in touch with the boss at Season of Mist.
The band Ophidian 1, the Icelandic band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I love them.
Yeah, so he helped me out, and so I could get in touch with the boss at Season of Mist. So I sent the boss basically the whole album in demo, and you are signed, just like that. So yeah, maybe I should try the Season of Mist first, maybe. I don't know. Because I wasted a lot of time with these underground labels. I like those labels because I buy records from them. I listen to a lot of death metal underground bands. So I thought we should be on one of those, maybe. But,
Transcending Obscurity? Was this one of them?
I don't remember all of them. It was...
Okay. The Artisan Era, maybe?
Yeah, maybe Blood Harvest. It was smaller labels than that. It was like Blood.
Smaller than that, okay.
Nuclear Winter, labels like that.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, that was it. And then Alan came in. I think Dennis talked to him because Dennis realized he plays bass. He can play bass. But he realized he didn't have time to learn all the material and do the vocals as well. Mm-hmm. So I think he asked Alan, and Alan just jumped right into it. And then I tried some guitarists because I also realized it's going to be too much work if I'm going to do the solos as well, because there's a lot of solos on the album.
Yeah.
And my solos are a little bit sucky, They are not that great. They are okay, but it's not. They are not amazing. So I had some guitarists try out, and I found one Swedish one that I really liked, but he had no time for it because he was busy with his own band. So
Who is it?
So what?
Can you tell me which guitar player you're talking about?
Yeah, he plays in Kvan, Swedish black melodic.
Oh,
black
Kvan! I love the Formless Fire. Their last album is really good.
He's super sick at guitar, and he's a great vocals too. But he had no time. He was really interested in doing it, but he got stressed out because he realized he really has to get involved in the songs and put a lot of time in it. So he said I have no time for it. So I crawled back to Christian, asking, "Oh, do you think you have some time to do some solos?" And he was, yeah, of course. And he had already heard the demo because Hannes, the former Obscura drummer,
Grossman.
yeah, he had the demo, and Christian had heard it that way. So he really
Wow.
liked it. He really liked the songs, and he demanded that he would be in the lineup, and not some, what do you say,
You
guest.
want, you really, yeah,
Yeah,
hired guns
yeah,
or
exactly.
guests. He really
Yeah,
wanted to involve himself in the project.
yeah, and I said, sure, welcome in.
He
You know,
he he just he was just quitting Obscura at that time, or he was
yeah,
already out of Obscura.
I think it was around that time, yes.
Yeah, good
He came in.
timing.
Yeah, he came in late. It was maybe a month before the studio or something.
Okay,
So he just jumped right into it, and he wrote all the solos and recorded them in like a week or something.
he's crazy.
Yeah, bang, boom, finished. You know.
My God, he's so creative and he
Yeah,
he plays so tight. So yeah,
yeah, and he really understands the music. You know, he vibes with it.
yeah,
So he just plays because he vibes with it.
yeah. I totally agree. I love all the projects that he's involved into. Uh, and I think he can adapt his soloing to any kind of music, basically. So he's writing the power metal solos that are
Yeah,
incredibly epic, and he can write solos for Retromorphosis that are quite worrying and
yeah.
technical at the same time, melodic, but you feel a complete different vibe.
He's a pro. You know, he can jump between all kinds of styles, and everything is just excellent.
I heard, yes, his riffing is also excellent. It's not just the solos. I heard there was at first an album that was planned after Incurso in Spawn of Possession. Is
Yes.
there any bits of songwriting from that period that are on this project, or there's nothing at all related?
I took one riff, and that's
One,
one riff. Yes, the rest is new. And that's the first riff in Exalted Splendor, the last song.
the last song, yeah,
Uh,
great
it's
song.
it's the dark grinding riff. That's originally a Spawn of Possession riff.
Oh, wow.
And
And
I
is
was,
go.
yeah, it's only that. It had some other riffs surrounding it in the Spawn of Possession song, and I just fuck it. I just gonna take that riff because I think it's because now in Retromorphosis we play even more down-tuned. So when you play that riff, that and down-tuned, it's gonna be really, really dark and fat, you know. So yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
And is there any other riffs left out from the Spawn of Possession? Uh, did you have any material written after Incurso?
Yeah, I have like two songs. One isn't finished, but all the main things are there. And then I have a couple of hundreds of riffs that's not used.
Not bad.
No, but I don't. It's kind of. I really don't know where to go.
Yeah,
That's why.
it's
That,
chaotic. You have a lot of stuff, but you don't know how to
yeah,
gather the riffs
yeah.
together.
And
Yes.
I remember when I sat and was writing on that album. It felt like I really didn't have any vision of it, really. I was just writing random stuff, and most of it sounded like Incurso. And I was thinking, is it going to be like Incurso too? You know, it just didn't feel exciting at all. So I was getting bored with it, and the other members, you know, they seemed busy with other stuff. Barely heard anything from them, so I was just kill off the band, and you know, so fans doesn't have to sit and wait for an album that may never come, you know.
The message was clear, at least.
Yeah, I remember when I was writing on Incurso, it was a really messy period with a lot of lineup changes and everything. And I think I told Alan that this is going to be the last Spawn album. So
Okay, so you didn't know.
So my mindset was all from the beginning that Incurso is the last album. But when we went out on tour and we started talking, and it seemed like everybody wanted us to continue and make a fourth album. So when I came home from the tour, I started to at least try to write some new stuff. But I felt, you know, I wasn't that inspired to do it. Just didn't feel that exciting.
If the passion is not there, you can force things. I think it's not like inspiration on demand doesn't make great albums.
No, exactly. And I don't want to release something, you know, half-assed,
Yeah,
just to keep the name alive and stuff like that. It was so. I was so relieved when we disbanded. I was really relieved because that.
oh, it was a relief. Yeah,
Yeah, a relief because that opened up for me in a way to write whatever I want, so I could try different things. So I wrote some black metal, some thrash, and some instrumental music. I wrote a lot, and then I came back to death metal again. But this time it was a little bit different, because I was way more inspired by, you know, old school sounding death metal, not try to push any
the boundaries. Yeah,
yeah, and not pushing on the neoclassical thing so hard and all that. Just, you know, get back to the death metal grooves and the evil melodies and all the weird things you can do. It felt really funny. So at least I probably had the thought that maybe I should start a death metal band again soon, but that took some time. So it wasn't until 2019 I decided to do Retromorphosis.
oh, so already 5 years ago that you decided there will be a new project of technical.
Yeah, I had it in my
metal.
mind. I want to do something, but I couldn't decide. Was it going to be black metal or death metal? And but I think I was pretty sure that I want to do the death metal thing first, in a way, and then maybe we can check the black metal thing later.
Yeah, I want to hear about that. I love black metal, and I'm really curious to hear what you will come up as riffs and as atmosphere. Because a big thing on this new the first Retromorphosis album is the atmosphere that you have in the back in a lot of the songs, and I truly love that. There's a really eerie vibe and evil vibe also.
Yeah, that's one of the main things with Retromorphosis, because we can slow down, we can use simple stuff and let the music build slowly instead of have it super intense like in Spawn. It's like intense, it never stops. You never
It's
get
fa
any rest. Yeah, it's
it's
complete
very
mayhem.
fast, complicated,
Uh,
and rhythmically it's quite complicated as well.
yeah, and lots of harmonies. I still love harmonies, and I'm gonna use harmonies more on next album, I think. But it's really nice to to be able to slow down and to use pads and synthesizers and to create a different vibe and atmosphere.
I really like the mix between, as you said, you have a more old school approach in some riffs that are just sometimes just down picking,
Yeah,
and you have an atmosphere in the back, like in the song Vanished. You have a part that is really down picking, riffing, and you have Dennis singing on top of that, and you have that nice keyboard atmosphere in the back that is
yeah,
creating something that I think is quite unique in death metal.
yeah.
So I really like those kind of parts mixed with some more technical riffs that you are throwing here and there in the
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah, that's pure experimentation because, of course, I done the demos at home, and when you do the demos, you can spend hours on mixing if you want
Oh
until it's
yeah.
perfect. In the studio, you don't have that much time, so I was a little bit worried because I noticed when we were mixing the album, we spent a lot of times on the levels, on the synthesizers and stuff. So maybe sometimes they are a little bit too low, but I think I rather have them a little bit too low than too high. Do you know what I mean? Because if they get too high, they're gonna overshadow the riffs, or it's gonna blur together. Because we play different things. So
It's
it's
still a
really,
guitar album.
yeah,
At first, it's a guitar album, but I agree with you. I will have taken maybe a little bit
uh,
higher the keyboards and the atmosphere, but at the same time, when you listen to that album in good headphones, you
you
hear
get.
all the
Uh,
details.
and you get super paranoid in the studio. Is it okay now? You listen, and he turns down the levels a little bit, and you listen. I don't know. You get stressed out.
Yeah.
So we try to do it as safe as possible, so it doesn't sound weird or anything. Weird in a bad way. I like when it sounds weird, but it has to be weird in a good way.
I think the mix is really nice. We can hear everyone shining in some parts, and the vocals are in front with the guitars. Obviously, I love the work by Casey Howard on drums. And the riffs. It's like I said, it's a riffy album. You compose all those riffs, and there's a long song, 9 minute song called Machine on that album that I
Yes.
think is the epitome of that album. Uh, that song starts like more regular death metal piece, and then at 3 minutes 45, it stops. And the atmosphere is slowly building up, and the tension is building up, and then you have that crazy lead guitar riffs that is really sounding almost galactic with
Yeah.
that tapestry of keyboards in the back that creates that really evil vibe. Talk to me about that passage from 3:45 through the end of the song. I think that that piece of music is the most stellar thing I heard, I think, this year.
Okay. I think you talk about what we call within the band a cookie.
Or what?
A cookie. A cookie. It's a translation from Swedish kaka. Uh,
Okay.
that means you have a song, you have all the main riffs like chorus and verse and intro riff. You have all the main riffs, but in the middle uh, we always write like a big it's basically mostly instrumental.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not entirely freestanding because it's still based on the previous riffs and so on. So, and we all the cookies on Incurso were insane. Some of those cookies maybe a little bit too long, but anyway.
I don't
Uh,
think so.
no.
Especially the song on Incurso, the last song, Apparition. That
Yeah.
song, I think, is a fucking masterpiece of all
Yeah.
masterpieces.
Yeah, that cookie is. Yeah, I'm really happy with that cookie because it builds up very, very slowly. It's a little bit same here in the machine.
Yeah.
It almost dies, and it's slowly builds up, and it comes to. It sounds like almost like a baroque thing on the guitars, arpeggios. And it stops, and then it comes a harsh death metal riff, and that's the final, that's the beginning of the end of the cookie when that riff stops. Maybe it's easier to explain what I thought of when I wrote the song. The song is about hope. That
Oh.
hope is dying, and you try to keep the hope. You know, the first half of the song is hope is fine, but something is wrong. And then when it stops, when the cookie starts, it's the point where the doubting starts to happen. So you start to doubt if hope will continue, and so try to find back to hope again. And when after Christian's solo, you get back into the song with the ordinary riff. And hope is the song is really pushing really hard to keep the hope alive, but in the end, it dies, and it's a slow death. So that was the only thing I was thinking about when I wrote the song, and
Wow.
it was really hard to make a good story out of it. So, but I told Dennis you could write maybe about this weird machine that humanity puts all its hope into, because this machine will save the world, but it turns out the machine doesn't work as they want. Instead, it ruins the whole world. And
Yeah.
they name the machine Hope, I think. So it's about, if you think like that, it's I think it might be easier to understand the song, because I really don't think so much about riffs in that sense. It's more like you're writing a story with riffs. So okay, now yes, none of this gonna happen. So now I have to write this. It's more like that. I mean, you start to imagine how it will slowly build up, and I love to have these build up things.
Oh
I
yeah.
Yeah,
You're such a sucker for that.
I used that thing on Incurso also, like on Apparition and yes, a couple of other songs. So I like that, because then you get to have this climax, which is really nice. So you can have both tense riffing, and you can have a really good solo afterwards, and then you go back to the song.
Totally. I really like that middle part, and Christian is doing two solos in that
Yeah,
song, and both are really good. And when you talk about that part that you are like experimenting a little bit with just pushing the song further, there's some magnificent riffs in there. It's not just the solos, it's just like you said, the climax that is building within the song is
Yeah.
just incredible. It's an adventure, that song, for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. The funny
Really
thing,
love it.
the funny thing was when I started to write it, I didn't realize it was going to be a long song. It wasn't until I had written like maybe four riffs, and then I realized this is gonna be a long song because when you record it and you listen to riffs over and over again, and you start to imagine things. And I realized, okay, this song is going to be different, and it's probably going to be very long. So, but that wasn't the goal from the very, very beginning. I thought it was going to be just a normal song. So,
It went, it went just naturally
yeah,
towards
exactly.
a long song. I think
Yeah,
that's the best way to do it.
yeah, I think so too. Just to let the songs write themselves.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Is it 3 minutes? Is it 9 minutes? It doesn't matter. As long you have to keep the song alive as long as it's needed, you know.
And why you didn't choose to resurrect Spawn of Possession instead of starting this new band? Because there's some, it's not the same band. Obviously, it's four of the members that were on Incurso are on this project, but
Yeah.
it's reminiscent in some parts, but you have more liberty in that project to do not just technical stuff and
Yeah,
fast stuff.
yeah,
That's why you decided to start a whole new project, because it will have been a little bit too much different from the real Span of Possession sound.
yeah. It would have been, and I want to. I want to go. I want to. How do you say it? Like. I want it to be less technical. I,
Yeah,
I, I
to
don't
let
want.
breathe the song more.
Yeah, and I don't feel the need that every fucking song needs to be super technical. I want to have, I want to mix, some could be technical, some could be really simple. It shouldn't matter, So I want to write like that, and
The focus was more on writing good material instead of just trying to push the boundaries of technical death metal. Anyway, you already proved yourself in the first in the three albums of Spawn. So
yeah, and the amount of riffs that I threw away during the Spawn years because it wasn't, too, it wasn't intense enough or something. Uh, that's pretty sad. I wish I kept all those riffs because
yeah,
I could use them now, So yeah, yeah, it's more fun. It feels fun to write again because I don't have to think about it's going to be super intense all the time. I can write whatever I want. I could write a lot of songs and then I could send them to the guys and ask them which songs do you want for the next album, and they can pick the songs.
talking about that, how much material have you written already for this next album?
I haven't had any time to write much. I just started a little bit a week ago, I think. I started on a new song, but then I already have two songs that we didn't put on the album, and I have lots,
Okay,
and I have lots of material that I haven't used yet. So I will go back to that folder and you know, start to look at the riffs
have
and
fun. Have
cook it.
fun.
Yeah, so I'm super itchy to start right again.
Yeah, you seem really motivated again in this new project. And do you want
Yeah.
to bring Retromorphosis on stage? Is there a plan to do some touring or?
Yeah, we have talked a little bit about it, and it seems that everybody are willing to do that, but
Oh, cool.
it has to be planned way ahead, because
Yeah.
we live,
Jobs.
yeah, jobs and kids, and yeah, we live in different countries, so we have to yeah, it's going to be complicated, but hopefully we can do something maybe in the
At
future.
least I think you'll be able to do some festival.
Yeah,
It's more short period, so you do 2, 3 days, and then you can come back home, and it's
yeah,
more it's
or
easier than do a full tour for a month or two. It's
yeah, I thought maybe shorter tours. Some bands
yeah,
just tour 2 weeks and they switch, and another band joins the bill. Maybe something like that.
yeah. You do half a tour like with
Yeah,
a headliner. Yeah, it could work.
it's
Uh,
it's super tricky when you have kids.
yeah.
So well, yeah, we have to wait and see, and see if yeah, we're gonna live.
I'm glad it's already in the discussion that you will bring that sound live, and I I hope I will have the chance to see that band. And if you are doing, you will have a full album, 45 minutes to play. So basically, you will play the whole album if it happens.
No, I don't think we would do that. We would probably play maybe 6 of the songs from the album and then throw in some Spawn and Possession songs as
Oh,
well.
that
Yeah,
was my next question.
yeah,
Is
and
there any chance? Hey, think about Apparition, please. That song needs to be in the set.
yeah, Dennis talked about that. Oh, can't we play Apparition? It's like
Yeah.
eight
Thank you,
minutes long.
Dennis.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
don't
such a
know.
great song. And
Yeah.
maybe as we are going in the last stretch of this talk, uh, you said that you were inspired by the whole school scene. And what are the musician albums that you feel really inspired to write music and to listen to? It can be whole stuff, newer stuff. What
Uh,
comes to mind?
Oh, I don't need to mention all the old stuff because everybody knows, Morbid Angel and Grave and Dismember, all the ordinary stuff. But the bands I have found recent years are like Drawn and Quartered from USA.
Can
Uh,
you repeat that?
Drawn and Quartered.
Drawn and Quartered.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I was
Oh,
trying to, but I know that band. Yeah.
yeah, I really like the albums they have made. And I like Grave Ritual. They don't exist anymore, sadly.
I don't know that band. Grave Ritual. I will
Yeah,
have to check them out.
they play this really barbaric, simple death metal. But I like it because there's a lot of atmosphere, and they have these primitive artworks, and everything is very organic. I like that. I like the simple stuff. I don't listen. Some people think I'm only listen to tech bands and stuff, but I don't. I don't listen to any tech bands at all. I listen to ordinary death metal and thrash and some heavy metal here and there and classical music.
Oh yeah.
But I really. I think it's an age thing. I remember I was listening to a podcast and they said your music taste will be established by age 24. After 24, it's much harder to acquire new music taste. They say it's it's psychological. How the brain. That's how the brain works. So that's probably why I can't get into some of the new stuff. I realize we are super good at playing. We are much better than I ever was. So it's not that. It has, but you know, I'm stuck in the past a little bit. I think. So
We are all stuck in
yeah,
the past in a way or another.
yeah. It's not like I dislike it. I don't. I think it's pretty cool, but I don't vibe with it as you know, like I do with the older stuff. And there's a lot of new bands playing old school stuff now, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy about it. So yes.
Yeah. Really love it too. And I just want to take maybe a minute for you to talk about your black metal period. You talked about you were writing a lot of black metal stuff. How finished are those songs, and do you have enough material to think about releasing an album of black metal eventually in the future?
Yes, maybe. The thing with writing black metal is I'm a little bit insecure about it because I listen to maybe 10 bands, so I really don't have a good picture of the black metal scene. So I'm getting a little paranoid when I write. Maybe some other bands already have used this thing or that thing. I don't know. But my black metal is very melodic and epic.
Oh,
A lot of orchestrations. So maybe it's a little bit like Emperor, but not really. But yeah, a little bit like Emperor, I would say. But
which period of Emperor? Because they
like
evolve so fast with every
yeah,
single release.
I would say the first two albums probably,
Okay,
or
more
something.
the
Yeah,
more raw period.
yeah, or something between those maybe.
The second album, I think, is fabulous.
Yeah,
I really like all four albums, but I think the second and the third are magnificent.
yeah. So
Equilibrium and yeah.
yeah, so it's not super evil. It's not like mayhem or anything like that.
It's
It's
more
more
melodic.
yeah, way more melodic. So
Dissection is an influence,
oh,
maybe. Not that
oh,
much. It's more symphonic
yeah.
than that.
It's funny you say that because I had a dissection riff-esque thing that I put in a song and I listened to it and oh my god, it sounds way too much like dissection, so I had to take it out. But
Uh,
I really don't like to copy other bands. I think
yeah.
that's, in my brain, that's fucking illegal. So you have to have your own stuff, you know. And if you can hear, oh, it's probably inspired by, you know, it's okay. But if they can point out a riff and say, oh, that sounds like that riff in that band, I think that's very bad.
You should talk about that to Stephen Comera.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It was too easy to put that subject on the table.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
Poor,
big.
poor Christian. My God.
Uh, what a
But yeah.
mess.
Yeah, but that's so cool. And talking about Christian, he's in another death metal band called Eschaton. Uh,
Yeah.
and they released a new song just today. And
Yes.
that project sounds amazing too. With
Yeah.
Christian on board, it changed everything.
Yeah. Yeah. The Christian is amazing. So, and he's very picky with the project and bands he wants to play with. So, I bet it will be high quality tech death.
Yeah, he was in Necrophagus is in that project that we know about him at first, then Obscura, and
Yeah.
but everything he's touching is becoming almost gold. His solo project, neoclassical instrumentals are crazy as well.
I know.
I love
Very,
that stuff.
very talented.
Yeah, so thank you for coming by Metal Anthology and taking the time with me to talk about this new incredible album, Psalmus Mortis. And I really hope we will have the chance to see this new band live eventually this year or next year. Do you have anything else that you'd like to say to your new fan base? I'm hearing a lot of comments about Retromorphosis since the first single, so people are aware that's four members of Spawn of Possession, so they are all very excited to hear that thing, and they will not be disappointed. I can guarantee that. So, final words you'd like to say?
Yeah, the reception of the songs and the album has been overwhelming. Far, far more than I thought it would be. So I'm very, very surprised.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, today is the day we release the album. So don't think too much, just go and buy it. Because if you buy the album, you also support us to make more albums. That's the key, the whole key. We have to sell to continue.
That's it. And maybe you can share what's the best place to encourage the band to buy some merch, the new album, obviously. What?
Season of Mist has for both Europe and America, and they have all the merch. They have print on demand, hoodies, t-shirts, and everything. And they have in vinyls and the CDs, of course. And I guess you could find the album in ordinary stores, because here in Sweden it's going to be available in all the stores in Sweden. I checked that, so it seems Season of Mist knows how to put out an album, and get distribution for it. So it seems to be everywhere.
That's nuts. That's the best publicity you can have, that your record is in almost every metal store.
Yeah. That's super great. Super great.
So congrats for this first album of Retromorphosis. I'm so excited for the future of the band, and I'm glad that you found the passion again to write new stuff, and I hope it will stay with you for a long time, man.
Thank you. Thanks for being interested in Retromorphosis.
Oh yes, I am. So anytime we can do that again.
Yes, sure.
Thank you. So I have great success with this project, and can wait to hear even more of this project.
Yes, it will be more. I hope so anyway. Only death or an accident would hinder me at this point.
we have to stay positive. I know the music sometimes the hope disappear in Retromorphosis, but we gotta keep some hope for our lives.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially you have kids, man.
Yeah, I know. I have to keep myself alive for a few more years.
That's nice. I love dark humor anyway, so we can say anything we want. So cheers, man, and thanks for being here with me. It was such a pleasure to finally have a discussion with you after all those years listening to Spawn of Possession, and now this fucking new banger, Retromorphosis, Psalmus Mortis.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, man.